Well, it seems like I need a better app. I'm just using the basic camera app here, and it doesn't have a volume control as far as I can tell. So the last video uploaded sounds like the volume was really low, and I tested out the mic this time. Last time I just used the microphone on my computer here, which I guess isn't very good. But I do have this other one that I've been using for all the other videos, so let's hope this turns out better than the last one. So we'll see. So yeah, I was debating whether I wanted to upload videos or not, and I realized over the last year of lockdowns, that's right, this is over a year of lockdown here, just for historians, that there's people I listen to almost every day, and I would actually look forward to hearing them. And I thought, well, I don't know, I'm just making ones unless I have some content. Why should I really create a video? It's like, well, I can create one just for my own thoughts, and maybe there's somebody out there who wants to talk or communicate, or yeah, who knows? Maybe somebody else will feel the same happiness I feel, and I listen to the same people every day. Just a voice out there in the online. Seems kind of weird though. I mean, talking to nobody except myself. Because I mean, from what I see, I'm on the video and I'm here. But anyway, about the dream stuff, I was gonna talk about. I have a bunch of topics actually. I mean, I could probably talk all day for every day for years about just stuff, but. I was thinking of talking about aliens and UFOs as well as technology and math and other stuff in the future, but uh, I remember reading something about dreams. I mean, I've kept a dream journal for 30 years where I write down the dreams I remember when I wake up. And so it started off kind of, I just had like one or two lines for the dreams I had. I think the first one I have says, race the super chickens. And that's about it. And, only vaguely remember something about that dream after 30 years, but uh, after that, they eventually started becoming like a full page or something of each of them. When I realized how many dreams I have per night, so usually I have 3 or 4 of them. And also, creating a journal made it more vivid over the years. The whole point of it was that I'd read something about lucid dreaming, was the idea that in your dream you can take control of it, and also the dreams become more vivid. And just by writing it down as soon as you wake up, otherwise the dreams tend to fade. That's what they claim, at least. Although I still remember dreams when I was a kid, so full recall of most of my dreams. Parts of it, parts of them fade, obviously. I mean, just like normal memories. But yeah, I've always been fascinated by dreams, just because, especially since I've been keeping more notes of it, I realized that within my dreams I have full context of stuff. It's like people I meet in my dream, or I'm not necessarily a person in my dream. It's I'm watching a scenario happen, but I can say, oh yeah, in my dream I remember this before, or I remember this happened, or and when I wake up, it's like, that never really happened. Just in my dream it did. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that person. I met Bob like 10 years ago, and back then we raided the moon base. It's like, yeah, it didn't actually happen. There is no moon base, at least in this year, 2025, as far as I know. Oh wait, no, this is only 2021. That's right. Um, yeah, and so I always found it fascinating, and I always liked hearing about other people's dreams. I mean, I think I mentioned in the last one that most people find dreams boring, and they always say, oh yeah, the least interesting thing you can talk about is your own dreams, but I find it interesting because everybody else has different types of dreams than I have, and so people say, "Oh yeah, I had a dream about a house, but it wasn't the house that I remember. It was slightly different." And it's like, well, if I don't know the person, sure, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's like, okay, well, sure, for you, it's the house that you don't remember, but it's not really that house, or that person wasn't really that person. But it's interesting for people I know. It's like I learn more about them, and I learn more about what they're thinking about. It's like, oh yeah, they see that house, and but it's distorted in some way. But that house has value, or that person has value to that person. Um, a lot of my dreams, I don't have that. So I mean, I just have another world kind of that. It's like full of people or places that I visit a lot, or I've had a bunch of houses that I've never seen in real life uh, that are in my dreams, and I've had dreams that foretold the future, if you believe in that kind of stuff. But I remember about a dream I had a dream about Seattle. I dreamed about Seattle a lot. Even before I lived there, I dreamt about Seattle. And so I had a dream a couple of years ago that someone was showing me a house just from like a view. It's like up the street. We ran up the street and like an aerial view, and it showed me this house. And the voice said, "You should have been living here by now." And I saw the address of the house. And when I woke up, I looked it up, and there actually was a street by that name. And it was on the top of a hill, like in my dream, and it was for sale for about a year. The uh, owner had just passed away, and that's what it said in the dream. The owner just passed away. They'll take a reduced price. It was so weird. I have it written down somewhere what the address was because I emailed my mom about that. because it was just so weird. And she likes dreams too, and so I talked with her about that. I don't know many other people who enjoy talking about dreams, but if you're one of them, let me know. But yeah, it turned out weird, and I have a lot of dreams, like I said, about Seattle, where there's a place, at least I call Seattle in my mind, with it has like a map. I have the complete map in my mind. Like there's a downtown area, there's a raised platform that has like an amusement park kind of stuff. It's usually closed at night, but then there's like a food vendor I like there. Then there's a big roller coaster. I've never been on any of the rides. And then on the other side, there's watery stuff. But around that area, there's a bunch of restaurants too. There's like an Italian place, and down another spot up the street, there's like a goth club I've been to a few times, and then one of the houses in my dreams that I never owned a house like that in Seattle, but there's a house in my dreams with I know the exact layout. So like you walk in, you can walk up the stairs to this side here, then go out here, then out the back in the kitchen. Then there's a whole big building in the back that has like a giant pond full of alien life, and some greenhouses, and a bunch of it's like a city block long, the backyard. But yeah, so it's consistent though. I've been there a few times in my dreams, and yeah, in reality, I've never been there. I don't know a place that looks anything like that. But every time I go there in my dream, I go, oh, see, I knew it was real. And that's one of the things for they say that how to have lucid dreams is that you're supposed to look around and notice that things change and that things aren't real. Like in real life, you can't fly, so try flying. You can't fly? Okay, you're probably awake. If you fly, then probably you're dreaming. And then from there, you can try to take control of your dream. Once you realize, your conscious mind realizes you're dreaming, you can try making changes and say, oh, look, well, I tried to fly and I'm flying, so maybe I'll try other stuff. Or I know that the other one is look at something. Like throughout the day, look at something and then look away and look back and see if it's still the same. Look at like a text, because they claim text will change. And so for years that worked for me. But then after practicing this lucid dreaming stuff for over 30 years, it's like when I look at text in my dream, if I see it, I can look away and look back and I'll see the same text. Or in my dream, I'll say, I always knew I could fly. It's just that I wasn't doing it right in the real world. And so my brain's worked around it in such a way that I can't necessarily tell that I'm dreaming when I'm dreaming. So it makes it a bit harder, but still, when a lucid dream happens, it's I've tried like tapping on stuff, and it's like, wow, it feels so real. And my dreams in general feel real, but at that point, it's like when I'm in control, it's like, oh yeah, look at that. I can walk over here, and this table, everything seems so consistent. And it's such a weird experience that I hope you find some way of trying it yourself. Like I said, the easiest thing I found for that kind of thing, or what the recommendation is, just throughout the day, look at something, look away, or try turning a light switch on. Because in dreams, light switches don't work. They claim it doesn't work most of the time for me. So I always kind of find it kind of scary in a dream to say, like, I'm in a darkened room and I try to turn the light switch on. It doesn't work. I'm like, oh no, is there something in here with me, or why is the switch not working? But yeah, try turning a light switch off and on, or look at something, look away, look back, see if it's changed. And throughout the day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Like to say, whenever you think about it, to say, oh, do I think I'm dreaming now or not? That's the other thing. Eventually, then you'll get used to it. And if you keep doing that throughout the day, at some point, you'll be in a dream. You'll actually be dreaming, and you'll ask yourself that question. And then you'll say, wait a second, no, I've seen things that are changing. So therefore, I know I'm dreaming. And therefore, I might be able to do something about it and take control of the dream and make whatever I want happen. And yeah, I don't know. I usually just look around and see stuff. I don't know if I've actually tried changing other stuff, but yeah. But like I said, the other one is a dream journal. To try to remember your dreams more is just write down the things you've seen in your dreams as much as you can remember. And it may start off with nothing, but yeah, just have a tablet at beside your bed at the headboard or something with a pen. And as soon as you wake up, because it'll fade pretty quickly. It's a state of mind thing. You have to try to recreate the state of mind in which you saw what you saw. The same thing is like if you're trying to learn something. People used to, like in college, take caffeine pills and say, oh, I'll stay up all night. And the next day on the test, it wouldn't do as well. It's like, because your brain is in a different state. The idea is that if you take caffeine, you have to be in the same caffeinated state in order to remember what you remembered before. And the same thing is like when you're asleep. So if I'm going to try to remember a dream, I try to put myself half asleep again. And I'd write down more of the details, and then more of them come back to me. Then I remember, oh yeah, that's right, then that happened, And but yeah, it's throughout this process, I've had some really interesting experiences in dreams. I mean, I've had dreams where I had a dream and a dream and then a dream. I think the most I ever had was 4 levels deep, where it's like I had a dream and I was telling someone in that dream about a dream where I had woken up in that dream of a dream. And it's fascinating. Just instead of just like some people explore the real world, you can try exploring dreams. And one thing I had always heard about was that people say it's like, well, it's just a dream. It's in your own mind. And yet, when you wake up from some dreams, you want to say, wow, what happened next? It's like, well, if you're the person creating the dream, you should know what happened next. So is there something beyond what just a regular dream is? And that was one of the persons who did lucid dreaming research at the beginning. His claim was that maybe reality as we see it is just a dream from somewhere else. That can you wake up from this as if you can wake up in a lucid dream? I mean, that you look around you and you see things, but maybe in reality there's more to it, and you're just not really fully awake yet. You don't realize it. And I know definitely for myself, when I wake up from one of these deep dreams, I don't remember who I am for a few minutes sometimes. It's like 'cause I still remember the dream. I still remember all the dreams and all the people and all the stuff, and it's like I look around and I don't really see everything the same way for a while. So, yeah, so maybe the same thing's possible. And so far I haven't. I don't know. I don't think I've woken up in the real world and seen anything else. But if you do, or if you had experience with that, I'd love to hear about it. So, yeah, it's I don't know. I could endlessly talk about dreams and other stuff I've experienced within them, or dreams in general. But since this video, I guess I'll dedicate more to that. I also had the dream of like the endless cliffs, which I always found interesting. It's like there's this cliff in the distance, and at the top's a city, and you can see it from up there, but it's an infinite distance away. At least that's what I say in my dream, even though I can see it. It's obviously not infinite distance, but the idea is that if you go to the city, if you find a way up the cliff, you can't come back. And the idea is it's supposed to be paradise, but, well, you can't tell anybody. So how would you know? How would the people down below know that it's paradise? It's like, well, it looks like it from down below, but it's like once someone goes there, you'll never see them again, and they'll never see you. At least as far as I know. Maybe they have telescopes up there. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, obviously it's probably a metaphor for dying or moving away or something, or it's a big change in life where you can't go backwards. But in my dream, at least, I used to have it all the time. I don't think I've had it in a while, but I'd see this cliff, and I'd look up longingly and go, man, I wonder what it's like up there. Or it's possible for anything. And so it was a consistent part of a dream world for a while. And, yeah, just a lot of interest. The other thing that I'd heard about dreams is people say that, like, oh, I had the wildest dream last night. And the person who analyzed dreams said, well, most people actually don't. Most things are fairly consistent. Like, you don't say, well, I need a piece of pizza to open the door. Or I was talking to a bagel or something like that. It's like, still things are fairly consistent. There's usually humans within a dream, or people like yourselves, or if you like animals in your dreams who may talk, or plants, but it's never really wild, just things outside the ordinary. And things, if you drop in your dreams, will still fall, but you don't really see things that are beyond the human experience. Although I've personally, I know I've had some dreams like that, so that's the other thing I'm always curious about, if anybody else has. I haven't met anybody who has, but I remember the one dream that I was an intelligent form of gas going around the universe and exploring planets and stuff. And it just was a gaseous blob, and I saw a black hole, and I thought, hey, I bet that leads to another dimension. I should go explore it. And then I woke up from the dream, so I don't know what happens after that. It's one of those things, like, if it was in my own mind, I should know what happens next, but I don't. And it was just a fascinating experience that way. I like that. What the dream was an interesting one, for me at least, I mean, because I saw it all, but yeah, it's only one like that I know of that I've had that I can recall at this moment. But I'm sure I've had other ones like that. But the claim is, in general, it's anthropomorphic or whatever, just like in your normal life, or it's some things that happen within your life that you saw that caused it to happen. And I don't know, maybe I saw a bunch of Star Trek with the gaseous blobs ones or something like that beforehand. But I don't know what triggered it, but definitely had the dream and had that point of view. And the other ones I'll talk is I've had a bunch of them where I've seen a planet go from basically being formed to life evolving on it, to higher beings, to civilizations, to collapsing civilizations, to ones arriving in their dust, and just the entire history of a planet within the course of a night. It's like the dream just keeps on going for the entire time I'm asleep. It's like I can't get out of it. It's like then I'll see the savages of the prehistoric alien type race. They're not usually human, like hunter-gatherers or whatever. But then they build cities, and then they collapse in ruins, and another civilization rises out of those ashes. And those are kind of weird. I don't know. Sometimes I don't like this because I don't have a point of view. It's just I see all of history of something, but anyway. So, but yeah, I have a lot of books on dreams that I've read, and just like I said, history, and there's dream interpretation as well, where people say it's like, well, maybe it's a mystical experience. I mean, you're seeing something else, and if you dream of 5-leaf clovers, then that means something. It's like that part I'm not really quite sure about because it's hard to really say. I mean, how do they get the interpretations? I guess they have a dream and then see if it happens in the future, but I definitely think it happens in part of the mind. I mean, it's obviously part of the mind. It's experienced every night that you have to happen. And they said most people don't really remember their dreams, or they wonder whether they dream in color. I know for me, it's almost always dusk in my dreams. I've had dreams at night, and dreams where I'm in deep space. I don't know what that would count as, but usually when it's on a planet, it's usually dusk. It is from paying attention. I noticed all the different aspects. Like I noticed the different colors, and definitely dream in color. Definitely have seen things like that, and I don't know if I've ever smelled anything in a dream. I think it was only once or twice I've tried seeing if I can smell stuff in a dream. And I don't really think I ever have. Like I said, maybe twice. Um, but I haven't really seen anybody ever talk about that. I mean, people usually talk about the visuals of a dream, or I don't know if I've heard specific sounds. I know I definitely have talked to people and things, but I don't remember if there was any kind of sounds like gongs or things like that. So, but I'm sure all 5 senses are involved at some point. But mostly I remember just the visual aspects to it and the stories behind it. Like I said, the people behind it. So, but I hope you have great dreams, and well, I hope to continue talking about stuff in general. I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll have chats or something. But take care, and hope to see you again soon. Okay.